Every year, trillions of dollars change hands where the government can't see them. Cash jobs, side hustles, swap meets, encrypted trades. Most people call it the underground economy and feel a little guilty about it. One libertarian thinker called it the seed of a revolution. His name was Samuel Edward Konkin III, and he believed you could dismantle the state without ever casting a vote, firing a shot, or waiting for permission. Simply by doing business where the state can't follow. He called the philosophy agorism. Agorism takes its name from the agora, the open marketplace of ancient Greece, where free people met to trade. It's a branch of libertarian anarchism, and its goal is a society with no state at all. Every service you can imagine, from roads to courts to defense, provided by voluntary exchange instead of by force. But agorism's real signature isn't the goal. Plenty of libertarians share that. It's the method. Agorists argue you don't reach a free market by capturing the government. You get there by starving it. Konkin laid it out in 1980 in a short, fiery pamphlet called The New Libertarian Manifesto. A radical who studied chemistry before turning to political philosophy, he broke sharply with mainstream libertarians who wanted to run candidates and win office. To Konkin, joining the political system only fed and legitimized it. Real change, he argued, would come from the counter-economy, the growing web of people already trading, working, and living outside the state's reach. Grow that web big enough, and the state would simply wither, outcompeted by freedom. In the 1970s, most American libertarians were placing their bets on politics, founding a party, running candidates, trying to shrink the state from the inside. Konkin thought they had it exactly backwards. Every vote, every campaign, every office sought, he argued, only granted the state fresh legitimacy and pulled rebels into its game. He mockingly called it Partyarchy. Real libertarians, in his view, would stop petitioning the system and start living outside it, building freedom rather than begging for it. That web has a name: counter-economics. It means all peaceful human action taken outside the view and control of the state, untaxed, unlicensed, unregulated, not fraud, not violence. Agorists draw a hard line against both. Just voluntary trade, the government never sanctioned. The unlicensed hairdresser, the cash-only handyman, the freelancer who doesn't report every dollar, the neighbors who barter tools and childcare. To an agorist, these aren't petty tax cheats. They're unwitting revolutionaries, each transaction a small brick pulled from the state's wall. Draw a line through the hidden economy and you find shades of gray. Konkin distinguished the black market, trade in things the state bans outright, from the far larger gray market, perfectly ordinary work and exchange that's simply unlicensed, unreported, or untaxed. Agorism pins its hopes on that gray zone. The babysitter paid in cash, the mechanic working off the books, the seller who skips the paperwork. Not violent, not fraudulent, just voluntary and quietly beyond the state's reach. Imagine the committed agorist. They work for themselves, off the books where they can, trading skills for skills. They favor cash, gold and cryptocurrency, money the state can't easily track or inflate away. They use encryption, sell peer-to-peer, and route around banks, licenses, and middlemen wherever possible. They build parallel institutions, private arbitration instead of courts, mutual aid networks instead of welfare, community defense instead of police. Every choice follows one rule: move as much of your life as you safely can out of the state's ledger and into the free market of the agora. History is full of unplanned agorism. When America banned alcohol, A vast underground supplied it anyway. Under Soviet rule, dissidents copied forbidden books by hand and passed them in secret, a counter-economy of ideas. In much of the world today, most people already earn their living in informal markets the state can barely see. Agorists point to all of this as proof the counter-economy is no fantasy. It's how huge numbers of humans have always survived when the official system failed them. Born in the 1970s, agorism reads today like a prophecy. Konkin dreamed of untraceable money and unstoppable trade decades before Bitcoin existed. When cryptocurrency arrived, borderless, hard to censor, hard to tax, many agorists felt their theory leap off the page. Encrypted markets, digital gold, and the gig economy handed counter-economics tools Konkin could only imagine. To supporters, technology is quietly doing what elections never could, building an economy the state struggles to see, let alone stop. The web made Konkin's dream feel suddenly real. Encrypted markets on the dark corners of the internet showed that total strangers could trade, rate, and trust one another with no state and no bank in sight, until police shut the biggest of them down, a reminder the state still bites. Out of this scene grew crypto-anarchism, the idea that cryptography, not politics, is what finally tips the balance toward the individual. To agorists, code had become the ultimate counter-economic tool. How would a whole society actually cross over? Konkin sketched a sequence. First, low agorism, scattered individuals already dodging the state without a name for it. Then, as counter-economic tools spread, more people opt out on purpose. Eventually, he imagined, the free economy would grow larger and better defended than the states until private agencies could protect it outright, and the government, starved of taxes and obedience, would simply become irrelevant. Critics call that final leap the weakest link in the whole chain. But agorism draws serious criticism, including from fellow libertarians. Murray Rothbard, a giant of the movement, argued that simply ignoring the state won't abolish it, that political action still matters. Skeptics ask whether counter-economics can ever scale beyond freelancers and flea markets to build roads, hospitals, or defense. And there's an obvious risk. The counter-economy is often just the illegal economy, and the people living in it can face fines, ruin, or prison. Romanticizing that world, critics warn, ignores who actually gets hurt when the law comes down. But how do you get roads, courts, or clean air from a black market? This is the hardest question agorism faces. Skeptics argue that some things, public goods, national defense, large-scale infrastructure, are exactly what quiet, individual trade can't easily provide, and that a counter-economy of freelancers and crypto can't simply scale up into a civilization. Agorists answer with private and voluntary alternatives, but even sympathizers admit these remain largely untested. It's the gap between an elegant theory and a working world. So does it work? Honestly, no agorist society exists, and the state has only grown better at tracking money, not worse. Yet the idea keeps spreading, carried by crypto enthusiasts, gig workers, and anyone who feels the formal economy closing in. Even people who've never heard the word live pieces of it every time they choose cash, barter a favor, or trade around the system. Whether that adds up to a revolution or just a permanent gray area is exactly what agorists and their critics still argue about. The agorist wager is quietly radical, that freedom isn't something you vote for or fight for, but something you practice, one untaxed, unpermitted, voluntary exchange at a time. It may never topple a single government, but it reframes an old question in an uncomfortable way. If liberty is really built in the choices you make every day, then the marketplace, not the ballot box, might be where the real revolution has been hiding all along. Konkin thought so. The rest of us get to decide whether he was dreaming or just early.